Izzy Idonije signs a one-year deal with the Lions? Are you serious? The Lions? You really want to go play for the Lions? Alright, whatever works for you. The Chicago Bears had previously said they wanted to re-sign Izzy to another deal, but at a reduced price. He didn't want to take the price cut, and now he's going to go play for the bottom feeders of the NFC North. I know there are some people who are kind of high on the Lions, and the majority of them are Lions fans. But basically, they're a team that is stacked on the defensive line. And then they got Calvin Johnson. And that's just about it. So, why he would go there, I don't really understand. I mean, maybe he didn't want to play for this team without Lovey, without Marinelli. Yeah, our defensive line is not as stacked as the Detroit Lions line. You know, when you got Fairley, you got Sue, you got Anza on there, the rookie. They definitely have a great line, but don't you think that's more of a reason not to go to Detroit? Because he's just going to be a depth player there. Not that he isn't a depth player on the Chicago Bears, but he's got more of a chance of a rotation on our defensive line than he does over in Detroit. I don't want to go all the way and make bold predictions, but if any team out of the NFC North between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears are going to be in the playoffs this season, it's not the Detroit Lions. So I don't know why you go to them, especially when you're in your 30s, you don't have much time left to play. Don't you want to be on the Chicago Bears, where you're a team that you know is going to be in the playoffs? Well, we like to say and assume they're going to be in the playoffs. They got everything they need to get to the playoffs. And, you know, they're not that far off from being able to make a run at the Super Bowl. I wouldn't exactly say this is the season it's going to happen, but in the near future, it's definitely a possibility. So I don't get it. I don't get why he leaves, but I think the Bears have accepted that Izzy was going to be gone, especially when we went out and got Ellis, a great defensive lineman who, although I would say that Izzy probably had a better season just past than Ellis had. And really, when it comes down to it, he was never a guy that really had a spot, I guess, on the team. And maybe this is one of the reasons why he wanted to leave, but he was kind of moved around. He would play defensive end a lot. He would come play defensive tackle when we were in the nickel. He just kind of was a fill-in guy. And I think there's a lot of that for the Chicago Bears, especially when you have, you know, a guy like Shea McClellin, who's a pass rusher. He's going to get to the quarterback extremely fast, and that's what he does for this team. So you need to have other guys who can balance that out and play a more rounded out game besides just that one instance for Shea. And that was something that Izzy could do, but without a doubt, having Ellis on this team, you know, the big 300-pound monster that he is, who's just going to eat up space, I think that we kind of, I'm not going to say that we come out ahead in this situation, because Idonije was a great player, and he's going to be missed without a doubt, but I don't really think that we are set back at all on this. Ellis was a great pickup. We got some guys who will come in there, some veterans, some young guys who can kind of compete for those open spots. There's not too many open spots left for our defensive line, but there's enough to where we will probably see some fresh faces come this season. It's going to be interesting. I don't know. It's a bit of a shame to see everybody we're kind of used to on our defense starting to go away. Obviously, Urlacher was gone. Idonije going to play for the Lions. Of all teams, the Lions. I don't know. It's a shame to see him leave, but once the start of the season comes, I really don't think we're going to miss him. If you guys disagree, maybe you think that Idonije is somebody who's going to be a huge impact and a huge loss for this defense, go ahead and leave those comments below. I don't know. If you think that the Lions really stand a chance and that Idonije is just, you know, one of the missing pieces, go ahead and leave those comments below as well. Hit the subscribe button for all of our videos, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter at OnsideKickReal.